Hey, what's going on, people? I'm Low Heat, and it's gonna be a bit different video than usual this time. So I'm gonna be talking about gear, since Black Friday is coming really soon and people will be really excited about buying new gear. I just wanted to put a different perspective on it and make you think about it if you really need to buy some new gear. So there's this quote I remembered from one of the most inspiring producers I know, Flying Lotus. That's what he said in 2008. So he was quoted saying, "People get caught up in gear, but it gets in the way of making music. When I need to find something new, I don't have to update my shit, I just have to update my brain." What does he mean? How come buying new gear won't help you, won't make your music better? A lot of people think that if they buy better monitors or the new fancy Apollo interface or the new machine controller or the new push or MPC or whatever, some sampler or a synth, people think that it's gonna make their music better. That's why they spend countless hours looking for gear online, reading reviews and plotting how they're gonna spend their money on gear. So in a lot of cases I don't think this is a good idea. So like Flying Lotus said, gear can get in the way of making music. So if you buy a new piece of gear, say for example you're using Ableton or some other DAW and you're fairly, competent with it, you can make some stuff with it, and for example you decide to buy the new MPC Live or some other Groovebox, what will happen is it will actually slow you down because you'll need to learn how to do everything on the new platform. So instead of making your music better, it will actually make it probably a little worse until you learn how to use it properly. Just think about it. This time could be better spent on actually learning how to improve your sound, improve your compositions in the DAW that you're using or the platform that you're using, instead of just going for the new thing. A lot of the new gear has a steep learning curve, so you'll be wasting a lot of time learning how to operate it. A lot of people buy these things thinking that they'll just start working on it, but that's rarely the case. So it takes a lot of time to master a piece of gear and become proficient enough with it so you can get your ideas out. So one of the reasons that we buy gear is that we are really excited by it. We're really excited by that new gear smell, getting this package in the mail, the fancy box of the new gear. So it gives you a bit of a dopamine hit to your brain. So it's very similar to actually using drugs, like smoking weed or drinking alcohol. But this dopamine hit, it lasts for a very short amount of time until you get used to the new gear. So then it becomes old gear once again and you're not really that excited about it. The novelty factor wears off and you're back to square one. You need to hunt down more new gear just to get your dopamine fix. So this is called GAS, which is short for Gear Acquisition Syndrome, and it's basically just hunting down gear basically just for the sake of having new gear. New gear can definitely inspire new ideas and can definitely help you get out of a beat block, or if you don't have the inspiration. But aren't there other ways to do this? So yeah, you can look for inspiration elsewhere, like for example in real life. Just go out, have new life experiences, do some physical activity like sports, running, a walk in the park. This will refresh your brain and it will give you new ideas instead of spending your money on that new shiny box that you think is gonna make everything better. So what does Fly Low mean about updating your brain? I'm not sure what he means, but one way to update your brain is to actually learn something new, like learn some new sound design techniques, learn some new music theory, some new chord progressions, some new scales, upgrade your playing abilities, your composing abilities, and it will have a much bigger effect on improving your music than just buying the latest fancy gear. So yeah, I get it, like if you don't have the bare minimum to have like a small decent setup, like if you don't have studio monitors or a MIDI controller or an audio interface or a microphone or whatever, yeah, of course, by all means buy those. But if you have a small decent setup, you just need to learn how everything you have works. Like even with Ableton Live's built-in stock instruments and effects, there's so much to learn, there's so many possibilities that I can guarantee that you haven't learned everything that's possible to do, and you haven't mastered what you already have. And if you take the time to learn it, it will actually improve your music much more than actually just spending your money on gear. And so yeah, basically what you need to do is just sit down and work. There's no shortcut for learning to make good music. Only amateurs wait for inspiration and you know, for the stars to align in a certain way to be able to sit down and make music. No, don't wait for it. Just sit down, start working, and something good may come. It may not, but it will be a learning experience, and you will improve your skills day by day. So don't be tempted by all those Black Friday deals. Just buy something if it's really necessary for you. Just think twice. Don't just buy everything you fancy, because like I said, it may not help you at all, and it may just slow you down. So drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think about this. Do you think this is right, or have you had an experience where buying a new gear helped you a lot in your music production? And yeah, see you in the next video, guys. Peace, yo.